So it is to the printing press. to the recorder of man's deeds, the keeper of his conscience, the courier of his news, that we look for strength and assistance. Without debate, without criticism, no administration and no country can succeed, and no republic can survive.
All right.
What's up, everybody? Oh, I still got this little thing up top where Mike's at. He'll do a little magic in the studio. Yes, man, you guys, are you guys excited? I'm like super excited. This is amazing stuff. I get to see some really cool tanks, some bombers, some of the Blue Angels fly over. You know how that goes. Nice, nice. How's everybody doing on this wonderful, wonderful Independence Day?
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually, this whole week was just a celebration of our independence. Oh, it's wonderful.
Kind of America's birthday, you can say, for some people.
Yes.
So as you're out there enjoying your festivities, whether it's with family, barbecuing, just relaxing by a pool, which I was doing with some of my friends and whatnot in my neighborhood, my area of the woods. So it's been great. Might get over there a little bit later, but I did not want to miss this. Ben didn't want to miss this.
Yeah, I was in the river for a good chunk of the day floating down. So we got out, and I mean, I'm still we're here for you guys.
In our area, folks, it's been humid, really humid.
Bad.
More so like for weeks. So a lot of rain, a lot of humidity. And now the sun's out the last couple days. This just made it extra
Pray
hot.
for our farmers all across all the Midwest. They're all getting hit.
Yes. Lots of you in the room. Just about 900 of you. This is awesome. We're glad you're joining in. One of these screens we'll jump to here. But it looks like they were saying Trump on it any minute. So we'll see.
Yeah, this one over here. I'll try to get it. No, it's been pretty interesting, just like yourself, the best time today is to be with your family, and we're bringing you the second best place to be today is down here with our commander-in-chief. But, even just talk with my family today, and we were talking about, what's with all the, the military and the planes and the tanks, and, my sister was like, I mean, I'm loving it. She's like, is this, what? I was like, well, we've had this before. This isn't something totally new, and that's never happened before. And, I have a prior Navy in my family, and so we were talking about that and some other things.
It's like two Abrams are going to be there. They said like one, helo, or they're going to do the flyover, but it's nothing more than they provide for most football games almost every weekend of the year for baseball, football.
This isn't...
I know it's just, again, something that Trump's doing. So people, this is horrible and bad. But again, we send off our young kids or just military in general to go fight these wars. They have to play with all this equipment. Sometimes it could be shocking to the 18-year-old that just gets out of high school and goes and gets into boot camp. Then after boot camp, you're with the tank division or something. And, honestly, I've heard it all. It's a waste of time, waste of manpower, and blah blah. It's a holiday, so most of them are off. They're probably volunteered or were asked or signed up.
Hey, what a great TDY assignment right here. You know what I'm saying? Great assignment.
I agree. It's not worth. We can honor our military a little bit. It's not glorifying. They're saying it's a political event. It's going to turn. We'll see. I don't know, but.
I mean, look at some of the pictures here. I mean, look how many people are like super. This is like when JFK was speaking. This is Martin Luther King's speech kind of stuff. This is like this many people are showing up down. This is amazing stuff. And we know that today is going to be a day. It's already stacking up to be a unique day. I don't think this is just, this is just us loving America. We're celebrating America. We're having this has happened many, many times before. It's just no other president besides, JFK and some good ones, really honor our military and really give it that way. And I mean, his military industrial complex. It's like, no, man, these are the people who keep your freedoms free. that bell needs to be keeps on ringing. And if you don't answer that call to ring that bell of freedom,
see, this other one's
come on
right
now.
in front of the bulletproof down here below. It's right in front of his bulletproof. It must be raining up there in DC. Let's take a look at that there, folks. No, so what? You know, should we glorify our military? Should we glorify the equipment? I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that that's what this is about. It's just, honor.
I think
them.
it's just it's an honor them. I think, if you're going to have the Blue Angels fly over the Super Bowl, what is that? Is that honoring the military? It's just patriotic.
Is that taking advantage and wasting.
Exactly.
Dollars,
because the bottom line is I mean, is the American flag a show of military force? I mean, at what point in time are we going to stop saying
that's what they want to be? Now that you bring that up, you just gave them an idea. No, that's exactly what I've they don't, it's getting ridiculous, folks. But here, look at this place. It is just flags and
people are excited. They want, you know what? We need to be a part like this. It's been a long time since we've all come together, and there's no people fighting out there. And but look at, we're all happy. They're all pushing through the rain. This is going to be super huge. Fireworks. I mean, look at where this is at, I mean, this is not normal that a president speaks. I'm like, really? Well, it's not normal what he's doing, like best GDP ever, things like this, taking down the pedophilia rings left and right like a samurai. I mean, wow. I kind of like this president not doing things normally. I don't like how things are normally going in our country. We need to get them out of here and get, this is just crazy.
I agree. So let me get this for the banner.
Yeah, I agree, Miss C. History is being made. This is awesome. I mean,
dang it. Let me pull that down. Push that down there. Now, once somebody texts, it should come back. But that way,
okay, cool.
There's no way to turn it off. I can only make it smaller. But this is what we'll want once it
peek up. No, this is cool. Hey, the fact that we can be a part of this, get it out to you guys. I mean, this is amazing.
There, it's gonna go right there for now, folks.
You have
I'm not gonna touch it, but then I zoom it in and it'll go back to the bottom once because this is gonna kick off. So,
well, and I mean, look at this. We got the Marine, the Marines band. I think that's the Marine Orchestral Band right there, which is one of the top-notch bands.
So let's explain this, folks. Like that band there, they practice all year long. Monday through Friday,
every day.
They do weekend. Typically, it's weekend events or something. I would imagine if they're some evenings and stuff. But it's a lot of time dedicated. Not that they're not soldiers, not that they haven't gone through basic training and all the skills.
Oh, those are Marines through and through, for sure.
Exactly. The Army's got their, I believe, I know the Navy's got bands, and they're all
every branch has bands. But again, we talked about the Marines having a special connection to the president directly. And I would also say
President's Own. That's what
the
they're called.
President's Own. Yep. And so what are more classic ways to have their orchestral band, which is, I don't know. I mean, maybe a lot of you guys out there could tell us, but out of all the branches of the military, they do have who has the best orchestral band. And so, you're here. This is a big time, so they maybe have got the spot or whatever. But, I mean, this is just what a show of, aren't you proud to be an American? I'm proud to be in a country that allows you and I to be saying what we think, how we feel, and our interpretations of what we see there.
There was just a poll before we got this fired up quickly on social media, and it was like by a local news channel. It was like, "Do you feel proud to be an American?" Poll says less do this year than in the past, and I'm just like, wow, I was like, yes, I'm proud to be an American, despite the agenda that you guys are trying to perpetuate upon
despite the sanctuary cities and having the bubonic plague in L.A., I'm still an American.
Yeah, and then it's like, see, it's your fault. You should have been immune, and you got your immunizations, and it's like, Jesus.
So that's how they stopped doing it with hoof and mouth disease, and we started using soap and water and sleeping outside.
Yeah. All right. just kind of they're looking at some people that are here gathered in DC.
Man, by the way, we're getting people from Australia. We're getting people from across the pond.
Oh yeah,
I mean, we're
hey,
getting
guys.
people all over. You guys, this is a huge event because the world is watching. The world leaders, other countries, they're very keen on to see what the hell is going on here because these are the people who are going to be, Trump's going to be the wheeling and dealing. Who's doing that? Oh, Tom Fenton's down there. Look at him, got the top seat. Nice. It's a good man there. Judicial Watch doing awesome things, getting the FOIAs out to us people.
Oh yeah.
And all of our mods are awesome, holding it down. You can work hard tonight. Look at all those awesome Patriots getting ready. Yeah, they know us here, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm pretty proud of our military. I mean, obviously we're both prior veterans, and so to see some tanks, to see them in their dress blues and Class A's and all their good. I mean, just that is sweet looking. It still shows that we're prideful. And by the way, all volunteer people, 100% volunteer military we have here in America.
Yes.
We're gonna keep it that way. And you think about that.
Yes. So look, so we got Pence coming up. We got people calling in, but the phone lines aren't open.
Not this show, but we will faux show.
Yes, faux show in the foreseeable future.
In the foreseeable future. So this is awesome.
Again, welcome all
you
Patriots.
guys.
This looks like it's getting ready to kick off. We're gonna let
We're gonna let you guys enjoy this awesome celebration. When it's all said and done, if we can handle ourselves, we'll come back and do a recap. But like you guys, we're gonna be in the chat room. Keep it going, you guys. It's you guys that are making it possible. So I don't know, Mike. It's all yours, brother. God bless you guys. We'll see you after the speech.
Yes, and I don't know if what Trump's gonna be walking up now that the vice just came up. I don't know.
I know it's from like 6:30 to 7:30, but I don't know if that's when his actual speech is, or because I know the gates opened at 3:30 there to get people in, and they've been piling in and piling in, and obviously we see our vice president there, Pence is there. It's like what 6:17, 6:20ish or so. The commander in chief is in the house, but getting ready, so they're taking him back down, and
let me see.
And this is just amazing.
Is that about good?
Oh, that looks awesome, dude. Yeah, they mean business around here, man. Get a little thumbs up so we can beat that algorithm. We didn't want nothing happening right now. The left is really not wanting this speech to get out, and so keep it up with you guys, and lots of love, man, for sure. This is awesome. Jennifer Hill, I agree. Awesome. Wow. Look at that, man. Air Force boys and fly boys. Look at that. Oh.
Yeah, no, that's pretty big crowd there, folks. That were now it's down. Now it's to the same picture. See that? How before the one they got the same.
Yeah. I'm tracking.
That's crazy. I'll use. I'll keep them both up in case something happens. Yeah.
No,
what's going on there, cool. Wilson? What's going on, Wilson? All right, folks. So now we got about 1,300 in the room. Welcome all Patriots. If you're new to the Patriot Hour, welcome newbies. Welcome all newbies. If you're a returning Patriot, welcome back. We appreciate it. We're gonna be listening to the hour-long salute to America. Military parade of sorts on.
Oh, this is going
the
to be a
4th.
huge birthday bash with the president speaking. It's going to be like,
Yes.
remember when you were in high school and those pep rallies were like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And that guy comes on like, are you ready? Like, are you ready again? Yeah, that's Trump. That's what we're doing right now. Except there's going to be like fireworks and tanks and planes. And this is going to be like a big giant. If anybody out there is doing like an awesome celebration drinking game, every time you hear the words USA, got to drink. I mean, it's just up to you because I'm pretty sure you're going to say, you're going to hear it a lot of chanting, USA.
Oh, yeah.
All kinds of awesome vets in the chat room, by the way. We got prior Army, prior Navy. We got some prior Air Force, prior Marines in the house. We got all kinds of you guys up in here.
Get the popcorn ready.
So,
Trump 2020. William Fox, Dr. D. Tired of winning yet? A little bit.
See, this is the A team. This is the A team Secret Service guys right here. So they're all getting ready. Look at here. He's like, whoo, they're getting ready. They know what's up. USA, USA,
little,
USA.
Twirly behind his ear there. You know, he's gonna.
That's the A team. Because the B team, they got to put big giants. Oh, look at the Marines.
Little woodchuck to gray squirrel, woodchuck to gray squirrel. Red team go, eyes on target.
Gray squirrel, go.
A little woodchuck. So yeah, these guys are. Here we go. Nice little picture of the.
Look at that
band there. Oops. There, I got your mic up.
Nice.
Hearing in the crowd now.
Oh, yeah, you hear him and it's getting excited.
Uh-oh. Some excitement going on amongst the crowd. Excited. Patriots out there.
Now, I don't know. We were talking about it earlier, and of course, I don't know if we have any of our team members or anybody close to the channel that they're boots on the ground, if you will.
Looking for some boots on the ground there, folks. Oops.
And I know that after everything is said and done, we'll come back at it and we'll kind of see how it plays out. Because I'm pretty sure I'm kind of hoping for some big news here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not trying to hype it up. I'm curious just to hear what he has to say as much as you guys. But I also know that this is all right. Well, they're getting
same on the Jumbotroner.
In from the I think they're going in. Yeah, it's only just a quick little drive down the way.
Going down Presidential Way over to the stage.
Is this the road that's named after me? Well, your position, sir. I like that. Yes. Good stuff. Winning. Yes.
Red team, go. Red team, go.
Red team, go. Wheels are turning over. Oh, that thing is so awesomely bulletproof, dude. That thing is awesome. And it's a Cadillac, by the way. Not a Bentley. Not a Bentley. It's a Cadillac.
Glass, all the good works, folks.
American made.
That only costed you $3.2 million.
Something like that. But hey, very, very worth it. Now, the Pope costs about, $20 million, something like that for his little Pope mobile.
This little piece of glass here, we were watching a Secret Service thing that, when they go to set up and they put that in front of windows at hotels for bomb deflection. It's like grenade resistant.
Frag resistant.
Yeah. Look at those chunks of glass up there, folks.
Oh, yeah.
His protection.
That's why the reason why a lot of presidents don't normally speak at functions of this magnitude is because of the security risks.
Yes.
This is why, presidents don't normally speak at something like this or this big, because the security risks alone are insurmountable. You have no idea what these Secret Service guys are going through to clear this air. You have how many, 500,000, a million, almost 500,000 people there right now?
Oh, man. I don't know the number on that.
I mean, it's just crazy.
Rappy signal through this company. I'll go over to this guy.
Nice. I like that. I like that transition, brother. By the
A bit
way,
more clarity. Release the
Feels
Donald now.
lonely.
Release the Donald. Come on.
release the Donald. DJ T.
Unknown. The signal's breaking up there a little bit now. Oh, yeah, that's a lot better.
I wouldn't say Trump is a king. He's our president. I don't have a king. I'm a king. I'm the
We're
king of
all
my castle.
kings.
Ain't no kings. Yes. Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be.
No kings here. Yeah. He's a figurehead.
okay.
He's doing a damn good job, I would say, and I'm happy that he's there. But if anything, he works for me. He works
Glad
for
he's
you.
a fellow patriot, and
Yeah, but he works for us people. So think of us as the kings and
that's
queens.
where we
and
got to
he-
get that back. You know, we got to start thinking. And the way it was supposed to be set up, it's been, you know, we're used to these. That's where they want to get you. You get used to all the abuses of your liberties and almost become numb to it, and then you don't think you're getting ripped
Yeah.
off anymore.
Hey, as long as you feed the sheep, they're not going to be trying to get out of the stable. I mean, it's
Thank you, mods,
Just
for
look at
keeping
all
it,
those.
holding it down. And thanks for all the super chats. I didn't even see them. We got Jeff Stewart, Sherry Ann Powers, Mel Black,
Oh my
Jeff Stewart
gosh.
again. Thank you guys. Oh, Wingnut, Sharon Barossa. Wow. Thank you guys. Thanks for all the super chats.
Super awesome. Thank you so much. Wingnut. That was a good movie about a dude or something. There's a movie about a dude surfer. I don't know.
Yeah.
California times, but
Well, about 16.
I like
in the
that.
room. Very nice.
be sovereign,
Very
be
nice.
divine, be free. I would say
All right.
be sovereign, serve the divine, and be free.
U.S. city in the hill for the world.
Yeah, I like this as the fact that every country could be a shining light. That city on a hill thing, got to be careful of that, people. Where everyone's their own shining light. We're not, we want to be freedom to be everywhere, but it doesn't quite work everywhere. Culturally, we know that, and this is the only place on Earth that we know that this way of living works, and we don't want it to go away one bit. Yes, a republic. I agree.
Thank you.
Let me go one step further.
Jeff
A
Stewart,
democratic
Chris Benning for the
republic.
super chat.
Oh my
Thank you.
gosh, you guys are awesome.
With this one.
This is awesome. Well, the wheels are rolling. Wheels are rolling. The commander-in-chief, is on his way down there. Everything's getting set up. The A team is on the case, getting ready for. Let's get in here.
They're coming in hot, folks.
I'm excited, man. It really truly is. Nice. I like the.
All right, don't want to get any copyright issues, so we can keep bringing you good stuff. So we got to be very careful there.
Very, very careful, see. Well, this is... I'm seeing income has... You guys are so awesome. There's so many awesome Patriots in here. And I love what you guys are saying, too, by the way. I mean, it really is. It's crazy kind of what the stuff they're saying.
Yeah.
And you guys are on top of it, and you guys are pulling through for sure.
Is JFK Jr. coming? I have no idea on that, buddy. We don't know. We don't try to speculate too much. I know what's been going around, but we'll see here. This was one of the dates given, folks, for, just
On the Q
possibly
post,
a
yep.
good time. Who knows?
Maybe.
Let's see
We
what's
don't
going
know.
on.
We haven't where what's been happening throughout today on the, on that side of things. who knows what that our president has done behind closed doors today, and then he's about ready to make this awesome, epic speech and tell us all about it.
And they're all
I hope so.
harassing
Spy
him
this
over
guy,
us,
7-7.
being political.
Yeah.
They didn't want this to be, they're charging him with being political and politicizing this and using, Washington and all the funds from there to fund a political event, which they're not supposed to be doing. And I don't know. But
it sets aside a time for celebration of our Independence Day.
Yeah,
and it's kind of funny. It's always been that way, and but we can spend millions and millions and millions in the old Mueller report, and that's a big old nothing burger and nothing, and they get upset for a little bit of fireworks and a bit of prestige and excitement for our country, and everybody's here. I mean, they're all there to celebrate. They're not there to celebrate Trump. They're there to celebrate our independence and our freedom from, at the time, the king, the Great Britain, and it was crazy. And people forget that. People forget how how precious our sovereignty is and how fragile our sovereignty is. This is what our president's fighting for, and where a lot of you guys here right now are not only, I know you guys would agree with this, the fact that we're fighting for our freedom. And if this president is fighting for our freedom as well, let's get behind him.
Yeah, our ideas here, folks, aren't, we were just talking about this stuff before we fired up, isn't, I was saying this isn't radical. This idea of what, being sovereign and having, this is what the founding fathers had came up with a couple hundred years back. The same thing that we're going through right now. Yeah, if you reread the Declaration, if you reread it a few times and keep in mind today's stuff, it's almost word for word verbatim. It's taken on a different form, but it's the same things that were happening to make our first war happen, to where we want to do. Whoa! Thanks for the super chat there.
Cherry Picola, sweet.
Cheryl
you're
Picola.
awesome.
Thank you so much.
You are awesome.
God bless you, Patriot. So, the same things that were happening now were, and the people back then that were outraged and then came to do our Declaration and our 3 founding documents, those were considered, terrorists to the British. They were considered treasonous, bad citizens against the state,
sedition, treasons, turncoats, the whole nine,
Exactly. So it's not so radical today, or crazy of an idea that we have lost our and we're used to it. Some of us are born into things that have been here that are treason, and that's all they have to get you a generation or two away from it, and then it's pretty easy to keep going. It's wild.
Oh yeah, we got. It's interesting. I mean, we talk when Mike and I talk about we all should be kings and we all are queens. That's what we're talking about. Harkening back, reread the Declaration of Independence. It's a powerful, powerful document. I mean, it's like basically somebody saying, "I'm going to tell you all the bad things this person did to us and how I don't want it to ever happen again." I mean, it's powerful, powerful verbiage, and how they talk. That we will no longer suffer this, and we'll be a free nation governed by ourselves. That idea, I mean, they had the idea from the Magna Carta and the French, and they were trying to get that going, but of course, that didn't go over so well. But the idea of where each person is free, and collectively we choose our leaders, and our leaders is only the people's mouthpiece. The leader shouldn't give, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, and that idea is so far removed from what most people think what it should be today. It's just sickening at sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Elizabeth Calamus, it's crazy. It's very crazy. Maybe will Q be revealed tonight in Red October? I don't know. It's It's I know they were saying that in Trump's time, and who will know? It's something just feels different tonight. Yeah, I think it's going to be one of the biggest celebrations of our independence since JFK. Last time we had things like this rolling down in D.C. was when JFK was doing his.
Standing for the presentation of the colors by the United States
Here we go.
Armed Forces Color Guard.
I think we listen to
and
colors.
The national anthem, as performed by the United States Army Band, Pershing's Own.
Because it's 6:34, so this is starting up right now.
The direction of Colonel Andrew Esch.
Thank you, Godspeed.
Awesome.
1775 in the room. Whoa. One more.
Second Constitutional Congress.
I think it was the first Continental.
1775, right?
Yes. What was it? 1773 to. All right, there you go. All right, folks, we'll probably pretty much leave it here unless there's a little gap till Trump.
It's 6:36, so I think it started. They're gonna do the honoring card. Ah, so beautiful. I think we should leave it here, brother, and continue on, because right after this, he's going to be on.
All right, you guys will sign off, brother. Happy birthday, America, and all
Happy
Patriots.
birthday, America. Yes, God bless you guys. We'll be back in an hour.
Enjoy this and pay attention.
Missiles actually in the parade, and so if you go back some in history,
you hear that?
Big of a deal.
Yeah, they switched it over there. They cut the feed.
That we want to celebrate on this day.
Let's see here. I still got you.
Yeah, no worries, guys.
I don't know what feed that one was, but.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the
Right,
United
here we
States,
go.
Donald J. Trump, and the First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump.
Right, there's Trump. We'll leave you guys with him.
Hello, America. Hello. The First Lady and I wish each and every one of you a happy Independence Day on this truly historic 4th of July. Today we come together as one nation with this very special salute to America. We celebrate our history, our people, and the heroes who proudly defend our flag, the brave men and women of the United States military. We are pleased to have with us Vice President Mike Pence and his wonderful wife, Karen. We're also joined by many hardworking members of Congress, Acting Secretary of Defense Mark Esper, and many other members of my cabinet, and also the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Joe Dunford. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Lieutenant General Daniel Hawkinson of the National Guard, and distinguished leaders representing each branch of the United States Armed Forces, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, Marines, and very soon, the Space Force. As we gather this evening, in the joy of freedom, we remember that all share a truly extraordinary heritage. Together, we are part of one of the greatest stories ever told, the story of America. It is the epic tale of a great nation whose people have risked everything for what they know is right and what they know is true. It is the chronicle of brave citizens who never give up on the dream of a better and brighter future. And it is the saga of 13 separate colonies that united to form the most just and virtuous republic ever conceived. On this day, 243 years ago, our founding fathers pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor to declare independence and defend our God-given rights. Thomas Jefferson wrote the words that forever changed the course of humanity. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. With a single sheet of parchment and 56 signatures, America began the greatest political journey in human history. But on that day, the Patriots, who would determine the ultimate success of the struggle, were 100 miles away in New York. There, the Continental Army prepared to make its stand, commanded by the beloved General George Washington. As the delegates debated the Declaration in Philadelphia, Washington's army watched from Manhattan as a massive British invading fleet loomed dangerously across New York Harbor. The British had come to crush the revolution in its infancy. Washington's message to his troops laid bare the stakes. He wrote, "The fate of unborn millions will now depend under God on the courage and conduct of this army. We have therefore to resolve to conquer or die." Days later, General Washington ordered the Declaration read aloud to the troops. The assembled soldiers just joined an excited crowd running down Broadway. They toppled the statue of King George and melted it into bullets for battle. The faraway king would soon learn a timeless lesson about the people of this majestic land. Americans love our freedom, and no one will ever take it away from us. That same American spirit that emboldened our founders has kept us strong throughout our history. To this day, that spirit runs through the veins of every American patriot. It lives on in each and every one of you here today. It is the spirit, daring and defiance, excellence and adventure, courage and confidence, loyalty and love that built this country into the most exceptional nation in the history of the world. And our nation is stronger today than it ever was before. It is its strongest now. That same righteous American spirit forged our glorious Constitution. That rugged American character led the legendary explorers Lewis and Clark on their perilous expedition across an untamed continent. It drove others to journey west and stake out their claim on the wild frontier. Devotion to our founding ideals led American patriots to abolish the evil of slavery, secure civil rights, and expand the blessings of liberty to all Americans. This is the noble purpose that inspired Abraham Lincoln to rededicate our nation to a new birth of freedom and to resolve that we will always have a government of, by, and for the people. Our quest for greatness unleashed a culture of discovery that led Thomas Edison to imagine his light bulb, Alexander Graham Bell to create the telephone, the Wright brothers to look to the sky and see the next great frontier. For Americans, nothing is impossible. Exactly 50 years ago this month, the world watched in awe as Apollo 11 astronauts launched into space with a wake of fire and nerves of steel and planted the flag on the face of the moon. Half a century later, we are thrilled to have here tonight the famed NASA flight director who led mission control during that historic endeavor, the renowned Gene Kranz. Gene, I want you to know that we're going to be back on the moon very soon, and someday soon we will plant the American flag on Mars. It's happening, Gene. It's happening. Our nation's creativity and genius lit up the lights of Broadway and the sound stages of Hollywood. It filled the opera, country, rock and roll, and rhythm and blues. It gave birth to the musical, the motion picture, the Western, the World Series, the Super Bowl, the skyscraper, the suspension bridge, the assembly line, and the mighty American automobile. It led our citizens to push the bounds of medicine and science to save the lives of millions. Here with us this evening is Dr. Emanuel Freireich. When Emanuel began his work, 99% of children with leukemia died. Thanks largely to Dr. Freireich's breakthrough treatments, currently 90% of those with the most common childhood leukemias survive. Doctor, you are a great American hero. Thank you. Americans always take care of each other. That love and unity held together the first Pilgrims. It forged communities on the Great Plains. It inspired Clara Barton to found the Red Cross, and it keeps our nation thriving today. Here tonight, from the Florida Panhandle, is Tina Belcher. Her selfless generosity over 3 decades has made her known to all as Mrs. Angel. Every time a hurricane strikes, Mrs. Angel turns her tiny kitchen into a disaster relief center. On a single day after Hurricane Michael, she gave 476 people a warm meal. Mrs. Angel, your boundless heart inspires us all. Thank you. Thank you very much. From our earliest days, Americans of faith have uplifted our nation. This evening, we are joined by Sister Deirdre Byrne. Sister Byrne is a retired Army surgeon who served for nearly 30 years. On September 11, 2001, the sister raced to Ground Zero. Through smoke and debris, she administered first aid and comfort to all. Today, Sister Byrne runs a medical clinic serving the poor in our nation's capital. Sister, thank you for your lifetime of service. Thank you. Our nation has always honored the heroes who serve our communities. The firefighters, first responders, police, sheriffs, ICE, Border Patrol, and all of the brave men and women of law enforcement. On this July 4th, we pay special tribute to the military service members who laid down their lives for our nation. We are deeply moved to be in the presence this evening of Gold Star families whose loved ones made the supreme sacrifice. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Throughout our history, our country has been made ever greater by citizens who risked it all for equality and for justice. 100 years ago this summer, the women's suffrage movement led Congress to pass the constitutional amendment giving women the right to vote. In 1960, a thirst for justice led African-American students to sit down at the Woolworth lunch counter in Greensboro, North Carolina. It was one of the very first civil rights sit-ins, and it started a movement all across our nation. Clarence Henderson was 18 years old when he took his place in history. Almost 6 decades later, he is here tonight in a seat of honor. Clarence, thank you for making this country a much better place for all Americans. In 1963, Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. stood here on these very steps and called on our nation to live out the true meaning of its creed and let freedom ring for every citizen all across our land. America's fearless resolve has inspired heroes who defined our national character, from George Washington, John Adams, and Betsy Ross to Douglas, Frederick Douglass, the great Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, Amelia Earhart, Douglas MacArthur, Dwight Eisenhower, Jackie Robinson, and, of course, John Glenn. It has willed our warriors up mountains and across minefields. It has liberated continents, split the atom, and brought tyrants and empires to their knees. Here with us this evening is Earl Morse. After retiring from the Air Force, Earl worked at a VA hospital in Ohio. Earl found that many World War II veterans could not afford to visit the memorial on the National Mall. So Earl began the very first honor flights that have now brought over 200,000 World War II heroes to visit America's monument. Earl, thank you. We salute you. Thank you. Thank you. Our warriors from a hallowed roll call of American patriots running all the way back to the first souls who fought and won American independence. Today, just as it did 243 years ago, the future of American freedom rests on the shoulders of men and women willing to defend it. We are proudly joined tonight by heroes from each branch of the U.S. Armed Forces, including 3 recipients of the Congressional Medal of Honor. Thank you. They and thousands before us served with immense distinction, and they loved every minute of that service. To young Americans across our country, now is your chance to join our military and make a truly great statement in life, and you should do it. We will now begin our celebration of the United States Armed Forces, honoring each branch's unique culture, rich history, service song, and distinct legacy. I invite Acting Secretary, please, Mark Esper, Secretary of Defense, and Chairman Dunford, Head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, please join me. In August of 1790, by request of George Washington and Alexander Hamilton, Congress established a fleet of 10 swift vessels to defend our shores. These revenue cutters would fight pirates, stop smugglers, and safeguard our borders. They are the ancestors of our faithful Coast Guard. When our ships were seized and sailors kidnapped by foreign powers in 1812, it was a revenue cutter, the swift schooner Thomas Jefferson, that swept in to capture the first British vessel of the war. In 1897, when 265 whalers were trapped in ice and the ice fields of Alaska were closing up, courageous officers trekked 1,500 miles through the frozen frontier to rescue those starving men from certain death. In 1942, the Coast Guard manned landing craft for invasions in the Pacific when the enemy attacked U.S. Marines from the shores of Guadalcanal. Coast Guard Signalman First Class Douglas Munro used his own boat to shield his comrades from pounding gunfire. Munro gave his life. Hundreds of Marines were saved. as he lay dying on the deck, his final question embodied devotion that sails with every Coast Guardsman. Did they get off? On D-Day, the Coast Guard's famous Matchbox fleet served valiantly through every hour of the greatest amphibious invasion in the history of our country. One coxswain said the water boiled with bullets like a mud puddle in hailstorm, but still the Coast Guard braved death to put our boys on Utah and Omaha beaches. Every Coast Guardsman is trusted to put service before all. Coasties plunge from helicopters and barrel through pouring rain and crashing waves to save American lives. They secure our borders from drug runners and terrorists in rough seas, at high speeds. Their sharpshooters take out smugglers' engines with a single shot. They never miss. When the red racing stripes of a Coast Guard vessel break the horizon, when their chopper blades pierce the sky, those in distress know that the help is on their way, and our enemies know their time has come. These guardians of our waters stand semper paratus. They are always ready. They are the United States Coast Guard. Representing the Coast Guard today, you will soon see an HH-60 Jayhawk helicopter based at Coast Guard Air Station Clearwater, along with an HH-65 Dolphin from Air Station Atlantic City and an HC-144 Ocean Sentry from Air Station Miami. Thank you. Thank you to the Coast Guard. On a cold December morning in 1903, a miracle occurred over the dunes of Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, when two bicycle makers from Ohio defied gravity with a 12-horsepower engine, wings made of cotton, and just a few dollars in their pockets. Just 6 years later, America was training its first pilots to take these magnificent machines up and over the field of battle. In World War I, our flyboys rushed the skies of Europe, and aces like Eddie Rickenbacker filled hearts and headlines with tales of daring duels in the clouds. General Billy Mitchell saw the promise of this technology and risked court-martial in his quest for an independent Air Force. He was proven right when empires across the oceans tried to carve up the world for themselves, and America stood in the way. We wouldn't let it happen. After Pearl Harbor, Lieutenant Colonel James Doolittle and his raiders flew B-25 bombers off a carrier deck in the deep Pacific in a daring feat of American resolve. And as President Roosevelt said, the Nazis built a fortress around Europe, but they forgot to put a roof on it. So we crushed them all from the air. 177 Liberator bombers flew dangerously low through broad daylight without fighter protection to cripple the Nazi war machine at Ploiesti. More than 300 airmen gave their lives to destroy the enemy oil refineries, and 5 pilots were awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor for their actions in that single raid. It was Airman Chuck Yeager who first broke the sound barrier. It was airmen like Gus Grissom and Buzz Aldrin who traded their Sabre jets for rockets to the stars. And it is our incredible airmen today who wield the most powerful weapon systems on the planet Earth. For over 65 years, no enemy air force has managed to kill a single American soldier because the skies belong to the United States of America. No enemy has attacked our people without being met by a roar of thunder and the awesome might of those who bid farewell to earth and soar into the wild blue yonder. They are the United States Air Force. Representing the Air Force, you will soon see beautiful, brand-new F-22 Raptors from Langley Air Force Base in Virginia, and one magnificent B-2 stealth bomber from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. What a great country. In October of 1775, the Continental Congress ordered the construction of 2 swift sailing vessels, each carrying 10 cannons and 80 men to sail eastward. Our young fleet tested their sea legs against the most powerful navy the world has ever seen. John Paul Jones, America's first great naval hero, said, "I wish to have no connection with any ship that does not sail fast, for I intend to go in harm's way." He got his wish many times when his ship was shot into pieces off the coast of England by a British vessel and her 4 dozen guns. When demanded to surrender, Jones very famously declared, "I have not yet begun to fight." When our Navy begins fighting, they finish the job. The War of 1812, Captain James Lawrence fell with his brothers on the USS Chesapeake. His dying command gained immortality. Don't give up the ship. In the Battle of Mobile Bay, Admiral David Farragut lashed himself to the rigging of his flagship to see beyond the cannon smoke, crying, "Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead." In World War II, it was aviators launched from the carrier Enterprise, Hornet, Yorktown, who filled the skies of Midway and turned the tide of the Pacific War. Nobody could beat us. Nobody could come close. On D-Day, CB engineers came ashore to destroy blockades and barriers, making way for the invasion. Many lost their lives, but they took the German defenses with them, and our men crushed upon the beaches like a mighty storm. From the naval demolition units of World War II arose a force that became famous in the Mekong Delta. They don't want to see our force again. The very best of the very best, the Navy SEALs. It was the SEALs who delivered vengeance on the terrorists who planned the September 11th attack on our homeland. It was the SEALs who stand ready to bring righteous retribution in mountain, jungle, desert to those who do us harm. America's sailors are not born. They are forged by the sea. Their traditions are rich with the salt and blood of 3 centuries. When Old Glory crests the waves of foreign shores, every friend and every foe knows that justice sails those waters. It sails with the United States Navy. Representing our great Navy today will be 2 F-18 Super Hornets from Naval Air Station Oceana in Virginia, along with 2 F-35 Lightnings from Naval Air Station Lemoore in California. So great. In November of 1775, the Continental Congress created 2 battalions of a new kind of warrior, one who kept and would protect our ships and sailors and be at home both ashore and in the mast with musket in hand. Their versatility was proven in the War of Independence when 234 Continental Marines conducted their first amphibious raid, capturing the British supply of gunpowder and cannons at Fort Nassau. Ever since, Marines have fought in every American war. Their legend has grown and grown and grown with each passing year. It was the Marines who won America's first overseas battle, vanquishing Barbary pirates on the shores of Tripoli. Their high, stiff collar, which shielded them from the pirate's sword, earned them the immortal name Leatherneck. It was the Marines who, after 2 long days of battle, marched through the halls of Montezuma. It was the Marines who took heavy casualties to kick the Kaiser's troops out of Belleau Wood in World War I, earning the title Devil Dogs. And it was the Marines who raised the flag on the black sands of Iwo Jima. From the Chosin Reservoir to Quezon, from Helmand to Baghdad, Marines have struck fear into the hearts of our enemies and put solace into the hearts of our friends. Marines always lead the way. After the 1983 Marine barracks bombing in Beirut, which claimed the lives of 241 great U.S. servicemen, Marine Sergeant Jeffrey Nashton lay in bandages, so badly wounded, barely alive. When the Commandant of the Marine Corps came to visit his hospital, Sergeant Nashton had to feel for the general's collar. He wanted to feel his 4 stars. He could not see and he could not speak. He signaled for pen and paper, and with shaking hand he wrote 2 words: Semper Fi. That motto, Semper Fidelis, always faithful, burns in the soul of every Marine, a sacred promise the Corps has kept since the birth of our country. They are the elite masters of air and land and sea on battlefields all across the globe. They are the United States Marines. Representing the Marine Corps today will be a brand new VH-92, soon to serve as Marine One, along with 2 V-22 Ospreys from the famed HMX-1 helicopter squadron at Quantico, the Nighthawks. In June of 1775, the Continental Congress created a unified army out of the revolutionary forces encamped around Boston and New York, and named after the great George Washington, Commander-in-Chief. The Continental Army suffered a bitter winter of Valley Forge, found glory across the waters of the Delaware, and seized victory from Cornwallis of Yorktown. Our Army manned the airport, it ran the ramparts, it took over the airports, it did everything it had to do. And at Fort McHenry, under the rocket's red glare, it had nothing but victory. And when dawn came, their star-spangled banner waved defiant. At Shiloh, Antietam, and Gettysburg, our soldiers gave the last full measure of devotion for the true unity of our nation and the freedom of all Americans. In the trenches of World War I, an Army sergeant named Alvin York faced an inferno of enemy fire and refused to retreat. He said, "I won't leave, I won't stop." He shot his rifle 18 times, killing 18 of the enemy. When they fixed bayonets and charged, he killed 7 more. The entire German machine gun battalion surrendered because of one man, Alvin York. A generation later, the Army returned to Europe and embarked upon a great crusade. With knives and rifles in hand, the Rangers scaled the cliffs of Normandy. The 101st Airborne leapt into the danger from above, illuminated only by enemy flares, explosions, and burning aircraft. They threw back the Nazi Empire with lightning of their own from the turrets of Sherman tanks and the barrels of the M1 rifle. In the darkness of the Battle of the Bulge, with Nazis on every side, one soldier is reported to have said, "They've got us surrounded again, the poor bastards." Outnumbered American warriors fought through the bunkers of Pork Chop Hill and held the line of civilization in Korea. In the elephant grass of Vietnam, the 1st Cavalry made its stand amid a forest consumed in flame with enemies at every single turn. The Army brought America's righteous fury down to al-Qaeda in Afghanistan and cleared the bloodthirsty killers from their caves. They liberated Fallujah and Mosul and helped liberate and obliterate the ISIS caliphate just recently in Syria, 100% gone. Through centuries, our soldiers have always pointed toward home, proclaiming, "This we'll defend." They live by the creed of Douglas MacArthur: "In war, there is no substitute for victory." They are the greatest soldiers on earth. Nearly 250 years ago, a volunteer army of farmers and shopkeepers, blacksmiths, merchants, and militiamen risked life and limb to secure American liberty and self-government. This evening, we have witnessed the noble might of the warriors who continue that legacy. They guard our birthright with vigilance and fierce devotion to the flag and to our great country. Now we must go forward as a nation with that same unity of purpose. As long as we stay true to our cause, as long as we remember our great history, as long as we never, ever stop fighting for a better future, then there will be nothing that America cannot do. Thank you. We will always be the people who defeated a tyrant, crossed a continent, harnessed science, took to the skies, and soared into the heavens. because we will never forget that we are Americans and the future belongs to us. The future belongs to the brave, the strong, the proud, and the free. We are one people chasing one dream and one magnificent destiny. We all share the same heroes, the same home, the same heart, and we are all made by the same Almighty God. From the banks of the Chesapeake to the cliffs of California, from the humming shores of the Great Lakes to the sand dunes of the Carolinas, from the fields of the heartland to the Everglades of Florida, the spirit of American independence will never fade, never fail, but will reign forever and ever and ever. So once more, to every citizen throughout our land, have a glorious Independence Day. Have a great 4th of July. I want to thank the Army Band, the National Park Service, the Interior Department, the incredible pilots overhead, and those who are making possible the amazing fireworks display later this evening. Now, as the band plays the Battle Hymn of the Republic, I invite the First Lady, Vice President and Mrs. Pence, the service secretaries and military leaders to join me on stage for one more salute to America by the famous, incredible, talented Blue Angels. God bless you, God bless the military, and God bless America. Happy 4th of July.
children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take